Happy Friday! Hello and welcome to Pop Up Stage. How's it going?
Woohoo! Yes, it's Friday again. Every week just passes by so quickly, and
But I
yeah,
would say that this week wasn't as quick as last week though.
yeah,
I felt like this
yeah,
week took a bit of time and said, okay lah, we give you a bit of our November feel and then we'll move on really quickly from now on.
yeah. I think we all just got so distracted with the 11/11 sale. Everybody was just so focused on that. Did you buy anything? Because I bought some gardening stuff.
Wow!
Bought
Yes,
some
I did
lights and
buy
all.
things. I bought games.
Oh yeah.
Weirdly. And I bought a pair of shoes that I've been eyeing for a very long time. So yeah, that's it. I was
Okay.
trying for a set of macarons that went on for like $11 on the
Wow.
11th because these people make amazing cakes and macarons, but I kind of missed it. It's like they only take the top 11. Okay, so if you're lucky within
Oh.
that span of time, yeah. Can you believe
All
they were
right.
sold out in 3 minutes? It's like 11 sets
Crazy. That's
gone.
madness.
I'm like, what? So yeah. So that's our 11/11 story. How is yours? You are more than welcome to share your story with us. Just drop a line in the comment section below. We want to know what you bought during the 11/11 sale as well. This afternoon on the show, we've got lots of new releases, and
Yep.
I say lots because normally we either give you one or two, but today we got three.
Yeah, exactly. And one of it, I must say, is a really great remix. I'm not trying to blow my own horn, but this is my remix, my band's remix. But I didn't make that remix because the artist that made that remix, we're going to bring him on in a bit. But yeah, so let's just jump right into it. So this is the fifth and final remix of the I Don't Give a Damn series. So initially the track was put out in June, and
Yep.
then we just got a bunch of remixes made, and that's what we've been releasing for the past couple of months. It's
I'm just curious though,
crazy.
Darren. When you first started with I Don't Give a Damn, right? Did you expect 5 different remixes?
I didn't. Yeah, initially it was supposed to be just one remix, and then one after the other. Like, people just got really interested, and I think it's actually a good thing, um, to be able to work with all these super talented like DJs and producers and stuff. It's all about the cross
Yep.
promotion and stuff. So yeah, so without further ado, I don't want to talk so much about that song because I'm gonna let the main man himself tell us how it all came about and what he did to that song. Let's bring him on, Mr. Ramsey Westwood.
Woo!
Hi guys,
Hey, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
having me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
so I hear that this whole collaboration started with a text. What were you thinking, lah?
Okay, so I basically heard the original. I liked the track, but I was like, okay, maybe it needs some electronic touch to it.
Yep.
And then I stumbled upon the first, I think it was the first remix by Karazey. Karazey,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
And then I was like, hey, yeah, it sounds cool. Like it has that clubby vibe, kind of uplift feel to the original track.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, so I just texted Darren, hey, I'm trying my luck. Hey, Darren, are you still up for remix? Like, I would like to try to attempt to remix it if given the permission and the capabilities.
Yeah,
to
don't
do
be so humble, lah.
it. And Darren was like, yeah, sure, I'll just send the stamps, and then he sent me the vocals, and then I got cracking to it. I actually did it in like 3 days, but then it took me like at least almost 2 weeks to finalize everything because I was also busy with my new ventures and of course work. And then I sent the final project to Darren, and he's like, "Oh yes, this is good, this is good." So
Yeah, man.
I'm glad it did justice in a way to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you heard the song, you automatically felt that you needed to do something with it, huh?
I felt like because it kind of related to what I was going through in my time, like the current situation of things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
there's a lot of sayings of like, don't do this, don't do that, and just don't give a damn. You just want to do your own thing. You just
Yeah.
want to keep your passion going, and like kind of had an what do you call that? Like an it kind of interacted with me in many ways, the original track, and yeah, that's how I texted Darren and got my touch to it. So yeah.
I'm glad it did, man, because you know what? Like to end, because like, there are so many remixes, right? Every version was a little bit different,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
to end this with a super high energy track, you know, I think it's just perfect lah to close it all off lah. You know, it's kind of like a finale. Yeah.
Yeah.
You made his day, lah. Technically, you know, he's like, okay, it's coming to the end of the year. We're gonna do one more remix, and that's it. We're gonna go out with a boom kind of thing, lah. So you kind of tied the ribbon to the whole present, lah. How was the relationship like working with Darren, though?
Darren is I think he's very open to a lot of ideas. He's like, yeah, sure, you know, it's cool. And like, you know, from a band, from a rock kind of a perspective, I think it's quite cool because I used to be from a rock background as well. I used to be in a band in high school, you know, those high school rock pop, rock punk era kind of alternative phase we go through in life. So you know, coming from that background, I think it's what Darren is doing is pretty cool. You know, like opening the remix to a lot of different types. I think there's also like it's not just dance, like dance music in general. It also had a bit of that what I think the FSJ remix, or was it the FSJ?
Yeah,
It was a different take, which is quite cool. Like you know, more down tempo kind of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what Darren is doing is pretty cool, you know, getting into different touches of the electronic world instead of just like, you know, bands, live music and stuff like that. I think, yeah, because music is also evolving in a way.
Yeah.
You know, like the post-production is always going more digital at some point.
Yeah.
So
That
what
is true.
Darren is doing is pretty cool, like, you know, infusing live acoustics with electronic. I think he also did the 80s. You did the 80s remix.
Yeah. So I did the 80s remix myself at home.
Like that very
So
wave kind of vibe.
yeah, that was kind of like the idea. Also, I was just messing around with the program, and I was like, "Hey, this one sounds cool, you know." So it was like a complete experiment, and I tried to replicate it. Like even last night, you know, I had heard a song. I'm supposed to do like a cover, so I thought, okay lah, you know, let's just try to replicate that sound, and I just couldn't, you know. So sometimes it's all about being in the moment, and and how it all came about. With all those remixes. So like for me, like I have one question. I think like being open to anything at all. I just wanted to showcase like everybody's like strengths, and you know, especially with DJs and producers. A lot of people think that, oh, okay lah, DJ, you just play songs in the club, you know. And I think that a lot of people don't understand that there are DJs that are like that, you know, but there are also many DJs who really produce their own music, and you know, for example, like your stuff, you know, your stuff's on Armada and all that, and I think that's insane.
I'm just curious though. You have a really strong reputation. Okay, I've read your background and stuff like that. Now you know that there's already been 4 different remixes before your own. You know, how do you make sure that yours stand out among the rest?
Just putting your flavor into the mix, I think, because being a producer, you kind of develop a certain kind of sound.
Yep.
So when a listener listens to your track, they'll be like, "Hey, this sounds like Ramsey. You know, this sounds like that producer." So putting your touch into it, that is the magic of production, I would say.
Okay.
And the reason why I wanted to do it as well is because I've been too caught up with producing for the global market.
Yep.
That I wanted to do something a bit more local flavor and orientation to it.
Well done.
I got in touch with Darren, and you know, we were actually talking after that as well. We were talking about a collab. So I'm actually producing a track and then gonna send it over to Darren to lay the vocal.
Wow! So this kind of open doors to more collaborations in the future. That's brilliant.
And Wait, you want to go first?
Go. Yeah.
This is one of the ways to actually to unite the scene in a way as well, because
Absolutely.
there's a lot of talents here in Malaysia, but not everyone is like in unity. Everyone has their own circle, their own groups, and like I think it's a matter of like trying to get everyone to kind of work together, cross collaborate, different genres coming together, because music, there's no rules to music now. Everything is like, everything is a hybrid of everything. Like you can hear a song that sounds like a pop song, but eventually it's a electro kind of twist to that pop vocals. So I think there's a lot of opportunities to music now, and we got to start somewhere lah, and local is the way for the start, I would say. Like for me, I started like globally instead of starting locally. So I'm kind of like going back down, but not going back down in the sense that going down to a lower level, but going back to local roots back,
That's right.
then making a local hit a global phenomenon if it's possible.
Brilliant. That's big dreams, and I love it. And I think that's what we do on Pop Up Stage as well. We try to expand our local talent as much as we can and just show the rest of the world what we have right here in Malaysia. Now, I'm also curious, you having said that, right? I think a lot of Malaysian talents who have reached the global scene have done it that way. You hit the global scene first, and then you come back and promote your stuff here, So why does that normally happen?
Well, I think because maybe in our local scene, it's a very niche market. So like electronic dance music in general is a very vast market. It's accepted globally. So
Correct.
if like, for example, if I were to make a song that would not sell here in Malaysia, but it would sell on a global scale, mainly Europe or America, then why not? So, and I think the reason why is because the global scale is always ahead of time. They are in. They're the ones that are setting the trend to. Okay,
The trendsetters. Yep.
Yeah, trend setting, and the local scene is always like 2 to 5 years behind.
Yes. Sadly.
Yeah. So I think in this case, we go global first, and then maybe after that 2 to 5 years period, or maybe even shorter, I hope.
I hope so too.
Implementing it into the local scene, I think that's pretty much what I'm trying to do. Hopefully I'll achieve that.
That's great, man. I think that is definitely happening a lot more. We can see a lot more artists like breaking outside of Malaysia as well.
Yeah.
And you're right, with different sounds, being in actually, like a lot of the pop songs now, they are kind of very electronic based as well. Every K-pop song is electronic based.
Exactly.
Trap and all that. And then even like Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish is weird. I feel her music is weird, but it's accepted in the mainstream. Is it because she's Billie Eilish? She's a girl, got green hair and all that, or is it because people really like that kind of music, and that kind of music has become the mainstream? So I think
it's also like, okay, Billie Eilish stuff is more of a balance between like her vocals. Her vocals is not actually overthrowing and killing the track. It's sitting nicely with how the track is produced. So it's all about the chemistry of like, getting the right vocals and the right music together. And I think her brother is actually producing most of her music.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So, which is quite cool as well. I think they've got a lot of
Chemistry.
a lot of chemistry, and like growing up together. Maybe that's how it led on for them to be musically involved and orientated. So it's all about upbringing as well, with knowledge and how much you know about music, and what drives you in the music field.
Yeah.
That's true. It's true.
Okay, so unlike the other remixes, I hear that this particular one will be sent to DJs all over Malaysia and Southeast Asia so that they can include this in the set. Now, Darren, when you first worked on I Don't Give a Damn, did you see this happening?
Well, I mean, when I started working on the track, I didn't think that we would do remixes anyway. We just wanted to put out a track and then put out more like originals after that rather than remixes. But the idea of the first remix came around because it was a DJ friend who we wanted to work with that we felt would fit a song in the future. Because we were going through like some of the demos that I had made, of course, lockdown and everything, I just had all the time in the world. So when I made that track, like it was another song, the band listened to it and then they're like, hey, this one sounds cool if there was a DJ like scratching on it. And I'm like, okay, cool, maybe I'll get in touch with that guy. So we wanted to form the relationship first. So that's how we got to talking. And then he did a dubstep-ish remix. And then, then came Karazey, then came FSJ, and then I did the 80s remix. Yeah, so initially the idea was because it was for a future track, Yeah. So I didn't even think that we'd have like 5 remixes. I didn't even think that Ramsey
Immediately in
would
1 year.
yeah, I didn't think that Ramsey would want to do a track with us, because like Ramsey obviously is very he's achieved a lot, in the industry and in the scene, and his tracks have gone worldwide. And I didn't think somebody of his caliber would want to say that, hey, okay lah, we work with you lah,
Yeah.
So
True.
yeah, I'm beyond like blessed, to be honest.
Now, Ramsey, I'm
My
just curious though. A lot of people talk about how they were affected or they have been affected due to the COVID season. Now, you mentioned that you two were going through something during this whole time of lockdown and all that, and that's why you could relate to the song. So, how were the DJs, the master mixers, affected by this whole COVID season? I don't think we shine a light on that a lot.
Well, a lot of, I think 90%, I would say 90% of DJs were left jobless, like no income,
Yeah.
not being able to make a living, like to make a decent living and to maybe even put food on the table. But like for me, I also struggled through that period, but I discovered cooking. And
Oh, so nice.
so me and my partner, yeah, we started making some Asian dishes, and now we're also like cross collaborating, partnering with a restaurant in Publica as well. So
Nice.
that was always like during the whole tough period of MCO and like the whole global pandemic situation of the COVID. Yeah, a lot of DJs struggled with like like what should we do and stuff like that. But I think a lot of them has resorted to putting their egos down and just
Doing
finding
whatever they
something,
need to do.
to earn a living. But quite a number of them have also went into virtually DJing,
Yep.
like doing live sets. There's this app called Bigo. So there's quite a bit of people that I know who are in like some agencies that is running Bigo. So they handle some DJs, put them at specific timing to do live streams and interact with their crowd, and the people who are watching sends beans, and beans can be converted into cash currency, and yeah, which I think is quite cool. It's not that lucrative, but it is at least something,
Correct.
But I think I would say hats off to everyone who's still keeping the passion there, because I think like more than half of the DJs in the scene have like literally just hang the headphones up and said like, okay, I'm done
Oh
with DJing. Yeah,
no.
a lot of them have like okay, I think it's not working out, or maybe I'm just gonna put a comma to it for the time being, but yeah, it was a tough time lah, and it still is a tough time because things are kind of like running but not running at the same time.
Yep.
But I think a lot of them have adapted to the new normal, and those who still have the passion for it are still doing it. Like for example, myself, I mean, like I do make a living from making music as well, because I'm also producing for a lot of artists and some agencies for their own artists and stuff like that. So I would say I'm blessed in a way, with starting off production at an early age and learning to produce music and making a name for myself in the music production world.
Yeah.
So I think that's my story in relation to the whole situation, things like
That's true. Well, I mean,
Okay.
I guess like being a producer, you also get the opportunity to just work from your home. I mean, it's basically the same thing. The only thing that's different is that we can't like perform live. That's one. But at the same time, we when we go out, there are restrictions. That's all. But in terms of work, you're still at home.
Well, technically, because we work like our studios are mostly either in our home or we actually
Yeah.
set up studio elsewhere. So yeah,
Mm.
it's basically working from our comfort zone, lah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Ramsey, earlier before we actually started this, Darren said you're also a restaurateur. So is the COVID season the cause of you being part a restaurateur as well?
Well, that was not entirely the main reason, but it's
Okay.
one of the supporting reasons to why I went into the F&B industry, because I used to when I finished high school, I used to work in as a barista, bartender, and stuff like that. So I always had a little bit of that knowledge in me.
Yeah.
And my family, my grandmother, my mom are really good cooks as well. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, let's just try something. And when the whole MCO kicked in, I was living with a fellow DJ friend. So he as well being affected, and he cooks really good char kway teow. So
Wow.
I started like, okay, why don't we do something? And like, yeah, we kind of like made the char kway teow as much as Penang as it could be, like the Penang char kway teow, yeah. And then we started doing home delivery. We were
Right.
sending it to like people who were ordering, mostly friends at first, and then we went a bit more out of the way to cater to the mass market. And then along that way, one of my friends who owns a restaurant in Publica, he was like, "Hey, send me the food. Let's try this." So we sent him like whatever we were doing, and right after eating it, he was like, "Okay, let's talk business. Why don't you come and operate from our restaurant, and then we can work out a partnership." And that's how it happened, lah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it all
So
started,
is that-
it started in August actually. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So it's still going on, lah. So that's still
Going on,
consistently.
but of course with the CMCO and all that, it's affecting business.
Of
like
course,
two
of course.
people at the table and all that. But fingers crossed, it's still okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still something.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not everything, but it's something. Yeah.
So there was a good outcome that came out from COVID as well. You found a different passion of yours and worked on that one. So
Pretty much. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's not just I was not the only one who experienced that. I think a lot of people
Yep.
kind of picked up something new, or just got out of their comfort zone to explore and venture into something else that could put money on the put money into the pockets or food on the table. So I think it has taught us a lot as well.
definitely.
Just like, yeah, because I think globally as well, there's a lot of DJs and producers who are actually suffering. I think I've encountered some of them who were literally doing nothing, and they were just like almost running on empty and like resorting to donations and stuff like that. So I think, yeah, it's a tough time, lah. But everyone's kind of evolving and adapting to the situation in their own ways.
I think
So-
what you said was brilliant. I mean, a lot of people had to put their egos down and do something else. This is what I'm good at. This is the name I've created for myself. But hey, we've got to eat. We've got to put food on the table, right? So let's do something that can actually generate income. And I think, I raise my hats to everyone who's done that, because it is a tough time, not just for us here in Malaysia, but around the world. Like you said, everybody's suffering. So we just got to keep supporting each other at the end of the day. Yeah. Okay. So on our comment section, we've got tons of messages. Most of them are actually emojis. So I don't know how to describe emojis. So we're just gonna project it. Adrian Rio sent a message when you were talking earlier about how everybody is affected and stuff like that, how you got started and all that. We've got Orange Kamikaze, thank you so much. Ashton
Fellow DJ.
Nitish. So all
Yeah.
these are your supporters, your fans, your friends perhaps. Thank you
Just
so
so
much
yeah.
for all your messages, and we truly appreciate each and every one of them. Now, of course, I think I read in the press release that Darren sent that you guys are going to have a celebration to wrap up the 5th edition or the 5th remix of I Don't Give a Damn. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, initially that was the plan, and we wanted to like put on like a party, because we thought, okay lah, things have like the CMCO has kind of like eased up. It's gonna be okay lah. We can throw like a secret party, a home party kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then now the cases are like 1,000 plus. I don't think that could happen really.
Yeah, maybe not not anytime soon. Yeah,
Maybe
Online party maybe lah.
It's different. Though. Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, it's a different vibe because when you go to a party, you want to feel the atmosphere, and it is everything that's happening around you that puts you in the mood lah, kind of thing. So
So we thought like with this one, it was gonna be like a full-on like house party, and that kind of vibe like, is a party like a true celebration lah. But there's like a major, like I don't know.
I think you should throw a party at the end of the year, Darren. At the end of the year, when people are going to celebrate the fact that 2020 is over. So now we really don't give a damn. Wrap it up.
The numbers goes down first.
Do an online party lah. Because they can't go out, right? So obviously people be looking for alternatives to end the year. So that's an idea. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, we might lah. I think we need to plan something lah, bro.
Okay, so
online
where are the remixes available right now?
I think it's mainly on Spotify. Where are the other platforms there?
It's on all the digital platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and all that. But mainly right now the main one is Spotify lah. Because I just checked like Apple Music and YouTube and all that, it's not been uploaded yet. I guess time zones and stuff like that lah. But Spotify is definitely on already lah.
Yeah, because Spotify follows the very structured time zone. So if we are here in Asia, if it's going to be released today, the 13th of November, it comes on exactly at midnight, 13th of November.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's quite on spot on, and everyone's on Spotify now. So most of the people I know don't really listen to Apple Music or Deezer and all that. Everyone's on Spotify.
Correct.
But it also depends on which region they're from. So like the other day, I was talking to this guy from Afghanistan, and he's like, "Oh, we don't have Spotify in our country." So really depends on the region and what platforms they support.
That's interesting. I never knew that. So yeah.
Yeah, I think like Spotify was just made available recently, like in like Laos or something, or was it Vietnam? Either that or no, it could have been like YouTube Music or something like that. Yeah, so every region kind of like have their own major thing. I reckon because Deezer is from France, I reckon a lot of people in France would be using Deezer.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
And like today, I woke up to emails of like SoundCloud going. SoundCloud is actually having their own kind of label, so you can actually put up your own music and use SoundCloud Pro, and then it will be diverted to SoundCloud's accounts on like Spotify and stuff like that. Wow. So I think a lot of music platforms are going towards the commercial direction.
Yeah.
Because streaming music now is like the in thing.
Correct.
No one wants to like, hey, send me your song. I want to listen to it. They're like, oh, okay, your song on Spotify. Okay, I'll just look up.
Yeah,
it's easier. Like, it's more convenient to a certain extent, isn't it?
No, but some fellas can you imagine? Some fellas ask, bang, I boleh download dari YouTube.
Boleh.
Ada link YouTube
boleh.
So it's time to think of another way, Darren.
Yeah, but it's fine. I mean, like, right, to be honest, like, personally for me, like, when I make music, I just want to make it available to anybody and everybody, if let's say they want to download it at the end of the day, burn a CD and whatever. I mean, to be honest, go and do it lah, but how many fellas actually have CD players now?
Even your laptop doesn't come with CD players anymore. Okay, you have to buy.
Everything has been removed and put a hard disk.
Yeah. But of course, if you just joined us, welcome to Pop-Up Stage this afternoon. We're talking to Ramsey Westwood. He is a well-known DJ in the nightlife scene here in Malaysia and around the world. And he's worked on the 5th remix for I Don't Give a Damn by An Honest Mistake. It's a brilliant track. And I think it's about time we roll the preview.
Let's go.
No. Anyway.
Showed you a side of me nobody knew. Gave you the world, it was all I could do.
Wow. I do hear the very global vibe to it. I like it. It's very nice. Well done, Ramsey. Well done. It is a nice cherry on top of the cake, isn't it, Darren, for you?
Yeah, for sure, man. Perfect way to add the whole series, and perfect way to kind of like start your Friday with this track. So if you guys are
Absolutely.
watching, go and stream that song, put it into your playlist, and party lah. You can't party in the clubs, you can
If
party
you
at
want the
home.
song, you can ask Darren for the song. He'll give it to you.
I can give you YouTube link as well.
Okay, like every show on a pop-up stage, we actually have a rapid fire segment to conclude this session. And this afternoon, it's no different. So, Ramsey, are you ready? It's going to be a very short one, so it's quite easy lah. I think, well, Darren has his own opinions about that, but never mind.
Okay, Mac will, every week I tell people this, okay? Mac will say, oh, okay lah, no lah, it's very easy, ni. Oh, very simple.
It is.
The questions will make you think. It won't be so rapid fire anymore.
Well, technically, the segment used to be called What's on Your Mind. So I think let's stick to that then. The format is rapid fire, but let's do What's on Your Mind instead. So
Okay,
you
let's do
ready? Okay.
Yep.
Let's
Alright,
kick
so
it
the
off.
first question is, if DJs had a superpower, what would their superpowers be?
Reading people's minds on the dance floor.
See, you didn't even have to think about that. Oh.
Because you guys already have the power to make people dance, right?
Well, we
Now you want to think of their thoughts.
We can read body language lah, but it's always nice to know what's the person thinking of. Like for me, when I would think, okay, now I'm playing track A. What would go well with track A? Like what would be track B? So that's what I do when I'm DJing, and like reading the crowd and seeing how they're responding to the tracks. So yeah, if we had that superpower, reading people's minds.
Brilliant. Okay, number two.
That's it. We don't want to read anyone's minds because
Yeah, that's too much to read. Okay, the album cover is an astronaut. Now, if you could land on a different planet, which would it be?
I want to see Mars.
Oh.
Like because it's also nearest to Earth. So yeah, not that far away lah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Mars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. Now that you are on Mars, now that you've landed on Mars, what would you do there for fun?
Question
That
is
brings music.
what is there to do?
What is there to do?
What is
Yeah.
fun there? I don't know. Just see what Mars is like, and then try to have fun out of being fun. Like whatever the meaning of fun is.
He's gonna bring speakers, his handphone, and then they play it up there. The music they be jamming to, I don't give a damn.
Maybe just bring my whole studio up there and then make music in Mars. Yeah, that would be fun.
That'd be cool. All right, now DJs are good at what they do. They mix, they produce, and stuff like that. So if you were really bad at something, what would that be?
Not making music. A lot of things. I'm actually bad at a lot of things. I would say, I don't know, like maybe thinking of something that is not involving music. Like, yeah, I don't know, maybe like,
The fact that you can't think of something you're really bad at, that means you're not bad at anything, isn't it?
What about sports? Are you not very good in any kind of sports?
well, I used to be very active in sports last time, actually.
Bro, he's not bad at anything.
So I actually used to run for Penang. I'm a sprinter. Yeah, 100, 200 meters.
Wow.
Play a fair bit of football. I still do sometimes futsal. That's the only thing that I do lah. But sports, yeah, basketball, volleyball, beach volleyball. Penang has nice beaches to play volleyball.
Yep.
Yeah, kinda lah. Cricket, I don't know, never tried. Hockey, yeah, I used to play hockey. I was a goalkeeper.
Ping pong? No, ping pong.
Ping pong, yeah, I do, but not pro lah. Just leisure ping pong, yeah.
Right. So yeah, Mac, you're right. He's good at
He's not
everything.
good.
Yeah, there's nothing bad at.
There's nothing that he's not good at.
So I think everyone can do something. the question is, how good are you? You know, like what's your level in that doing that something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, final question.
All right.
Okay.
The final question is,
Yeah.
okay, before becoming a DJ, what did you think you would end up doing for the rest of your life?
I was actually I studied oil and gas as well. So
Wow.
I was supposed to work in like oil rigs offshore and all that. So if I was not like if I did not well, actually I couldn't get a job after I graduated. I was jobless for almost a year, so that's why I went back to music, and I started learning music production, and I eventually just, okay, screw it, I'm just going to focus on music, because music was always like a calling to me. I tried to do a lot of things in life, and it always kind of failed, and then music was always like a backbone that I could lean on, upon like when I failed in that particular direction of things. So I think music was always a calling. So yeah, it's a good thing that I'm still keeping that, because if there wasn't for music, I really don't know what I'll be doing.
Maybe
Yeah.
cooking in a restaurant.
Oh yes, I mean, cooking is more of a passion. I wouldn't say I
Passion.
want to cook every day, because it kind of becomes a bit you get all sweaty in the
And
kitchen, oil
yeah,
on your face, and
that's why
Alright.
he does what he does. All right, so there you go. You've completed all 5 questions of the rapid fire segment this afternoon. I think he did pretty well. And now we know that he's actually not really good at nothing. He's good at everything.
I try to be. I try to be.
Okay, Ramsey, we have had fun with you on the show this afternoon. Unfortunately, our time have come to the end already. So, if you had something to say to all our viewers and listeners this afternoon, what would you like to tell them?
If you have a passion in something, just keep it going. Even though it's not doing you well at the time being, don't give up on it. Just keep it there, and somewhat try to keep the spirit alive. Yeah,
Brilliant.
despite
Now,
what happens now.
before I leave you, right, this question has always been on my mind. I'm curious though, if there's one misconception or misperception that people have about DJs, what would that be?
Okay, that's a very good question, because people think DJs, like, they smoke, they do drugs, they do all this kind of stuff, but I'm actually the opposite of that. I don't smoke, I don't do any drugs. I just drink on occasions, because you have to at least drink
Social
one.
drinker lah.
Social drinker, and sometimes liquid courage a little bit when you go on
Yeah.
stage, you get nervous and stuff like that. But don't think of DJs as like bad influences and stuff like that. That's not everyone are bad influences. It all depends on the individual, and how bad of an influence you are. So yeah, don't misjudge DJs. Yeah.
Nice. I like that. So, on that note, thank you once again for joining us on Pop Up Stage. Darren, anything else that you'd like to add before we leave Ramsey?
Oh, okay, thanks so much for coming on to the show,
Thanks for
and
having me.
sharing a little bit about what you do, and telling the world about what a DJ really does. Yeah.
Yes, and do not have
Thanks
that
for having me.
misconception or misperception anymore, because he cleared it up. So, thank you once again. It was wonderful having you on the show. I'm going to wish you all the best, and here's to a great start to a new year next year, because we've only got like 1 month, 1 week, or 2 weeks left of the year. So, yeah. Thank you again,
Yeah.
Ramsey, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Mac. Thank you, Darren.
Thanks
Bye.
so much, man. Bye.
So there you go. That was our first guest this afternoon, and I think we're going to be joined by 2 more, but one at a time. First, I think there is 2 more releases, so we're going to talk to
Yeah.
someone else who worked on your song, also.
Yeah.
Correct?
So this was the first remix that we put out. It was the second remix that was made, but I released it first. I just felt that it was supposed to be launched in a way that it will start off strong and then it
Yeah.
will end strong. Not to say the remixes number 2, 3, and 4 were not strong. It's just that I wanted to bring people on a journey. Just like how I write every song, it's always a journey. But
Absolutely.
this one is like a larger journey. Yeah. So we just wanted to have that kind of flow to it lah.
And I
So
think he
yeah,
did a brilliant job on your song
he did
as
an
well,
amazing
isn't it?
job. I know he told me this, that he doesn't want his age to be mentioned, because
But he's super young.
exactly, because most times when you mention somebody's age, they will relate your age to being inexperienced,
Of
and
course.
I feel that that is not always true. Just because you're young doesn't mean that you're inexperienced.
Yep.
So this next producer started producing music at the age of 12, um, and he's amazing. He's still studying for his exams. He's a bit bummed out about exams.
Yeah, being carried forward to next year.
But he's just constantly churning out music, and I am also working with him closely, with a lot of his new releases. And he's such an amazing guy, uh, eh, so knowledgeable at such a young age, and really knows what he wants. So let's bring him on, and then later on he's got a partner with him today as well, so we're going to bring him on a little bit later, but let's talk to him first. Let's bring on Karazey.
Woohoo!
Hi,
Hey Karazey, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Welcome back to the show. What
Yeah,
have you
it's
been up
good to
to?
be back. Oh my, music. Just making a ton of music. That's about it.
You you must be bummed out, isn't it? I mean, with your exams being moved to next year.
Yes, I mean, like we were so like, okay, let's end it this year, and boom, it was next year. Then we were like, okay, let's end it next year, early next year. No, it's going to be February. All right, so yeah, at this point, yeah, it goes, whatever goes.
Yeah. In the meantime, you can concentrate on your music, lah. After all, that keeps you going, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he told me. You know what? Like, I said, I think maybe you should like focus a little bit on on your exams as well. You still have a bit of time to prepare. And he's like, no,
Correct.
no, no, I cannot. I every time I go and do something, I will just end up doing music anyway. So
Oh my.
True, true, true. So tell us about the latest one that you've worked on.
yeah,
It's
Is it
called Rewind.
Korikari or should I
no,
rewind? All
rewind.
right, okay.
Rewind.
So with Rewind, I wanted to try a different style from my usual house music and stuff. And Rewind started out as a normal song, like a normal house song. But then I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to give more variation to my music, like because if you hear all my songs, it's just house music again and again and again. So I got tired of it. And when I sped up the tempo and it just gave a whole different vibe, I just changed it up, and that's Rewind. Rewind is a whole different story now.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's Rewind.
How long did it take you to work on Rewind?
Well, that's a funny story because the song started in the first wave of MCO, like it started back then.
In March.
And then, yeah, the song had just one drop. And then I was like, you know what, I don't like this track. And then, like, around after a while, I had like a block. So I went and revisited all my old projects. And that time I was with a bunch of friends on Discord. I was like showing them music, like, oh, is this cool? Is this cool? Is this cool? Like, tell me, what do you think? And then they heard this and they were like, yo, I need this. I think so. They are in the chat. If I'm not mistaken, Ashton was there and everyone. So
Yeah.
then they were like, dude, you got to finish this. Then I went home and I just like started like thinking, okay, I need to finish this. I need to like properly sit down, finish the track. I showed it to them and history was made. Like the song was so beautiful. Like I'm still so proud of it.
So technically, you are also having a good wrap up to 2020 lah. What started off in the start of the whole MCO is now ending the year with it, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Like wow.
So I like that. I like the fact that everybody's having a positive end to 2020. So let's hope it works for everybody else. Now, what do you want to achieve through Rewind?
I mean, with Rewind, I want people to see more of the other side of me. Aside from like club songs that I can make, I also make a lot of orchestral stuff. Like I work on a lot of orchestral compositions. Like Darren knows, I sent him a few and stuff. Like with orchestral music in Rewind, especially, I wanted to capture the feeling, that ambience and you're in the moment. Like when you want to rewind, that nostalgic feeling, I want to capture that. And I hope that feeling was delivered to the listeners. That's what it. That's all I wanted to achieve actually with that
Okay.
song.
Now, with the word rewind, it means you're going to go back in time. So, was there a certain thing or a certain, time in your life that you were thinking of when you made the song?
I think so. It was back when like I started making music. back then I used to think like how I would come to here, and now I'm thinking how am I going to go to that. So
Okay.
it's like it's like weird, but yeah,
I think
if
that's
I
just
could
the
rewind,
circle of life, isn't it? We always want
Yeah,
to
pretty much.
grow old faster, and then after when we're old, we're like, no, I wish I was younger. Kind of like. So you wanted to go back to that time. Which time was this?
When I was 12, when I was just sitting down at a computer listening to music, discovered it for the first time, and my mind was blown. And here we are, back then.
Wow.
So yeah.
You've come a long way, so well done on that one. So
much.
other than working on Rewind, what else have you been working on?
I mean, there's a lot of other tracks, but yeah, today we actually put out Koli Kari. Yeah, nice name. We put out Koli Kari with my friend, my longtime collaborator Kavin. He's a legend. Like he's the legend of legends. Like really, I look up to him so much as a friend, as a producer. He's a whole other level producer. So yeah,
Right.
I'm so excited to put this one out because it really brings our culture and also our influences in one track at the same time. So it was a cool experience working on this.
I mean, I think it's two different things, isn't it? Rewind and Kolikari. So how
Yes.
do you set your mind, or what's the process like? This is different. This is going to be more, festive like, and the other one is more commercial like kind of thing.
That's kind of a problem that I'm having. Whenever I say like I'm going to make a club track, it becomes something else entirely. And then when I say like I'm going to make a emotional track, I want like this going to be like the next pop hit, and it's not going to become that. So I ended up just giving up on everything and just working on music as it goes. Like I'll just put on a chord and make the melody and stuff, and then whatever feels at that moment. The first 3 hours are the important hours to be like I'll finish the like entire idea, I'll sketch it out. But after that, it's all about like changing sounds, refining the idea, putting this. I cannot change the main idea though. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Darren, anything else you'd like to add about Rewind?
No, I mean, I think Rewind's a great track. The way it all came together, with the female vocals and the feeling.
Who did you work with?
Oh,
Who is the
vocals are from
female-
a pack.
Okay,
They're
okay.
just from an online pack that we take vocals from.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the way it all came together, it's cool. You can always have like vocals, but without the music,
Yep.
it will not, like, the vocals would mean nothing. They'll just
Correct.
be somebody singing. But when there's the music there to support, then it creates that whole feeling, and then the vocal melody carries the entire song. Yeah, so I think being able to take something from earlier on in the year and then finally like crafting it to release up to the point of release, I think it's cool. Sometimes you just need to pull some stuff from the bank, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I think you did that very well. And because sometimes like old stuff people just forget, and then they just don't ever bring it back. They try to work on
Correct.
something new, forget about the past. So I think it's great that you were able to just match all of that together.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Rewind is available on all digital platforms?
Yep, it's everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so let's roll our preview for Rewind this afternoon before we bring in Kavin, and we'll talk about the second single that Karazey has released. So let's do the Rewind.
Listen carefully and rewind. It feels good on me. Rewind every word and rewind,
Nice, very nice.
Like the favorite part of the song for me is actually the wobble bass. The bass that's wobbling, and I think that's cool.
That's the first time
Thanks,
I've heard that line ever. The wobble bass. I'm gonna learn
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's wobbling. Yeah, so
Wobble
like
bass.
you can hear that sub
Yeah,
bass,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So that is the part that's kind of like creating that motion in the song, and I think that's cool. I guess maybe
Yeah.
also I'm just very bass driven as a
Yep.
person because I started playing bass first. Yeah, so yeah, I guess.
So, Karazey, are you happy with what you've released with Rewind now, considering the fact that you took that long to work on the song?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy that it's finally out because every song that I've worked on, regardless of the time, I really want to put it out. But then again, there will be one side of me that's saying it's not ready. It's not ready. You have to work on it. And with Rewind, at one point, I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I've been working on this. There was like 13 different versions. I just got to release this at some point. Then I texted Darren and started working out the details and stuff, and we just put it out. And I'm so happy everyone loves Rewind. So yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so the 13 versions, I'm guessing the one that you released is the last version, or did you go
Yes.
back and rewind to the first version?
No, I didn't rewind. The first one is so bad. Oh,
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So,
All
yeah,
right. So
I
it's
think
time for
it's, yes, Mac, you were saying?
yeah,
It's
it's
a-
time for us to bring on his collaborator, correct? So he worked with this guy called Kavin, who he's called a legend of all legends. So
Yeah.
let's get to know Kavin a little bit more this afternoon on Pop Up Stage. Hi,
Yo,
welcome to the show.
Yeah.
are you in school or something? There's a whiteboard and
No,
everything.
I-
That's great, bro.
He's
Yes,
working,
I
huh?
will. I studied and I took it
Oh, he's study room.
there
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
at the same time.
That's cool, man.
All right, so
Can-
you guys worked on a Deepavali track or a track that gets ready for Deepavali. It's called Koli Kari. Tell us more about that.
It was a track actually we planned to have like a challenge, like a 24 hours challenge, me and Shane. So yeah, we wanted to make a really sick track by 24 hours. We took it as a challenge, basically. So we wanted to make it sound like 2015 tracks, like those time the festival tracks, Kashmir and stuff, right? So yeah, we planned to make. I started out with the idea, and Shane mixed it on it. Then we thought, man,
Yeah. So it's got a bit of an old school vibe to it, and
Okay.
kind of like an old school EDM track when the drop hits. Because when I heard it, I was like, wow, this is a little bit different. I mean, it's new old school. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Okay.
I kind of like it. Yeah.
It's interesting they say it's old school, but the two of them are very young, aren't they?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true.
So where is this old school influence coming from?
It was actually from back then when we started. It was all like these club songs like Kashmir, Martin Garrix and stuff, right? All with the super strong bass and the super nice leads and stuff. So yeah, we wanted to make something like more Indianish, If you hear the song, you can hear like all these Indian elements with all the Indian duduk and all that. So yeah.
Yeah. So when you say Indian elements, I mean, what do you mean? Like,
Yep.
yeah, what were the kind of sounds or like instruments? I mean, did you put like, I mean, this is a little bit of a stereotype, but like, did you put like cars like driving by or something? Because in India traffic's mad, right? So
I would have thought you say a bit of a tabla sound or a sitar
there is tabla.
sound.
Tabla is
we're
there.
talking about sounds, but yeah. So, like, what Indian instruments did you put in?
There is sitar, tabla, bansuri, duduk, the oud, the jumbush, the glisantar. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
Wow.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
There's an instrument called murutangam.
Yeah,
Murutangam.
Right? Did you guys
Yeah.
put that in?
If I'm not mistaken, it should be there. I'm not sure. I have to check the project again, actually.
Top fans of Humans and Darren.
Okay, Mac.
Okay, cool. So is this like, I have not heard the preview of the song yet. So now share with me, like, for instance, I'm also a viewer and I'm watching the show. I've not heard the song, right? What kind of vibe would you get when you listen to Kolikari?
You're going to India.
Wow.
Going to India, and you're attending a festival at that. Yeah, and there's going to be flames when the drop hits, and there's going to be like energy, and everyone is going to jump when the drop hits. But you're
Okay,
going to have traditional dances during the breaks.
Oh, so it's like a whole Bollywood movie, is it?
Pretty much. The drop is the highlight, and the rest is like supporting it. So yeah.
Wow. So, Kavin, you mentioned it was a 24-hour challenge. Did you guys actually finish it in 24 hours?
Actually, yeah, we actually did. We only had to use it like later, but the whole thing was there already, by 24 hours.
Yeah.
It was a good experience.
Was it a tiring experience?
Yes, it
Kind
was
of tiring. It was like
continuously working.
Did you guys like work on it like together at the same place or like separately where you guys?
We were screen sharing when we were working. So
Right.
both of us could see each other's screens and we were working. Funny thing is, we finished the song right before we were supposed to go for tuition. So yeah, we were rushing it. We were like, we need to finish before we go tuition. Finish it. So yeah. That's how
Talk
the
about
song finished.
timeline, man.
Yeah. Now, how do you do it, man? 24 hours. So literally,
Yeah.
you guys stayed awake for 24 hours, or like accumulative 24 hours.
It's technically just one day, and if we plus together our work times,
You
I think so
don't
it came
say.
about 12 hours. It became about 12 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
It sounds like a very interesting work process. I mean, coming two very young people working on a song for 24 hours, putting their tuition as a deadline, that's going to be very interesting. And then when you listen to the song, it's going to take you to India, okay, during a whole celebration with Indian dancers in intermission as well. So that's like a whole setup for you. You can already imagine. I'm imagining explosive, like you said, So are you guys going to surprise me or what?
I mean,
We hope
it's up
we
to
can.
you.
We hope. Can I ask you, what were the challenges finishing the song in 24 hours?
Sending stuff back and forth. Like there were like in the end project, there were like so many files. There were like 100 sounds and stuff we had to go, and my computer was like already going to like burst at any point, I think. So yeah, that was the biggest challenge, really.
Imagine if it's internet buffering, then you'd be like, oh no! More than 24 hours.
So, guys, if you're listening in, and if you're watching this, if you are going to produce music, you can always produce music online. Now with the lockdown and everything, you don't even have to go to the studio. You can just do it online. But if you're going to go online, make sure you have fast internet and super high RAM on your computers, right?
Yep, true. So why is this song perfect for Deepavali, which is tomorrow?
Because its name is Koli Curry. If you guys want to know what is Koli Curry is actually chicken curry in Tamil.
Yep.
That's quite a funny name, right? Like, honestly, we did this song as a joke, We did it as fun, actual fun. We didn't want to release it in the first place, but it turned out good, so we released it anyways. So yeah, the main point why we kept the name as Koli Curry is because you guys know who's Martin Garrix, right?
Who's who? Sorry.
Martin Garrix.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he made a song called Pizza, right? Pizza.
Yeah.
So, what if he can name a song called Pizza? Why don't we name a song called Koli Curry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you're inspired by Martin Garrix in terms
Yeah.
of the title.
The name.
Interesting.
Because
Okay.
like the title could have been like naan or like pita or nasi goreng papaya, right?
Koli Curry is a favorite food for me and Shane. So yeah.
Right.
Okay. So both of you will be celebrating Deepavali tomorrow.
Yeah, I will be celebrating. I think all of us here.
How's it gonna be different?
This year, usually every year I'll be going to my grandmother's house, which is in Johor.
Mm-hmm.
But this year will just be here because of the MCO and stuff, guys. We are
Mm-hmm.
not allowed to go states,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
So it's gonna be different new experience.
Yeah, definitely. So, what are you going to do to, keep yourself occupied or do differently to make Deepavali exciting?
I'll probably just play some good music and all. Good.
Maybe you should
Good.
play this song, right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
put
He's going to play
this
that.
song on repeat and just tell your parents and your family and your cousins and all that. Like this is the only song you should play, like the entire day because
Play
that,
white
that should be the Deepavali theme song.
Correct. Okay, so guys, I think it's time for us to play the track so that you can take a listen to what Kolikari sounds like. Get ready for an explosive experience. Let's go. Wow, not bad. Good job, guys, for 24 hours. That was brilliant. Okay, so you can actually listen to Kolikari where? Where is it available?
all kind of digital platforms actually, whatever you can think of right now.
So it's going to be a good track to kick off your Deepavali weekend, okay? So tonight you can keep playing it over and over and over again and then, just have fun as you welcome in the festive season, yeah? Now, I think, as always, we have our rapid fire segment. Darren, we've got 5 questions because it's a shorter time period. So
Yeah.
are we ready to kick it off?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now let's go with this, okay? Now, if Kolikari had a different title, what would it be?
Fish curry.
Which curry would it be? Sambal. Sambal and
Sambal.
fish curry.
Yeah,
So
Fish
that'd be
curry,
mean curry.
Meena curry lah. Meena curry. all right.
All right. Now, if
Okay.
Kolikari was featured in a movie, who do you want to see act in that movie?
Rajinikanth.
yeah, Rajinikanth. Yeah.
And he
Okay.
must be on a bike, right? He must be on a bike.
Yeah.
He must ride a bike and he
He
must
must
have
be
his
DJing
glasses.
also. He must be
Sunglasses.
DJing also.
So he's standing on his
Must
bike,
have.
standing on his bike, DJing, and then
DJing,
killing
right?
people at the same time. Killing people at the same
Yes.
time, right?
You guys are nuts.
Only Rajinikanth can do that.
Legend.
Okay. All right. Okay. Next question. Now, if you were a, this is crazy. If you were a Deepavali snack, what would it be?
Murukku.
Okay. Kavin, what
Kavin.
about you?
I think I will be chicken sambal.
Phew.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
it's snacks, right?
Yes.
Snack, yeah.
I was going to say that.
Murukku is a nice thing to eat. I like
Okay.
murukkus.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Muruku.
But he would rather be sambala.
Wait first. But there are two kinds of muruku. There are two kinds of muruku.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, one is the one with the sharp edges one. One is the smooth one. Which one?
Achi murukku, I think. Yeah.
Achi Muruku is the one with the flowery one, isn't
The
it?
flowery
I
ones.
would want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now,
Okay.
if you could remix or cover a classic Deepavali song, what would it be?
I don't know the name, but I know how it goes. Right?
Okay, sing. You only give me one word. I also can sing that song, Deepavali.
All right.
Okay, Karazey?
I think so. Yogi B's Made Tirende, like
Whew.
the old classic one, the old school. I would definitely give it like a EDM punch to it.
Wow. Okay, he's thought
All
about
right.
it already. He's probably going to
Yeah.
work on it next.
He'll do it like right after this, I'm sure.
Yeah. He'll be like, I'm quite bored today. Let me do this.
All right. Okay. Last question. If you had your favorite Indian singer to be featured on the track, who would you want to work with?
Ooh, this is hard.
I like
Sorry, Kavin?
Anirudh. He's a great
Anirudh.
singer.
Okay.
I would go with Sid Sriram.
Wow. Okay, you guys are ready lah. You never know. If you get a phone call, you're already prepped. You can already do it in 24 hours. Guarantee.
Hoping a
So
phone
well
call from
done.
Rajinikanth lah.
You wish. You never know. It's possible sometimes, yeah? So, yeah, we've come to the end of the show already. Thank you guys for joining us this afternoon. It's been wonderful. I think you guys are well on your way to doing great things because you're like super young and doing so much already. So, keep that passion alive and continue doing what you do. Darren, do you have anything else you'd like to add this afternoon?
Yeah, I would just like to say that, for people who are watching this, and if you're celebrating Deepavali, this could be the anthem for this year's Deepavali, considering
Absolutely.
that, COVID and everything, you can get out of the house, or travel like interstate and all that. So this is probably the best time to spend with your family at home and also to enjoy great music, and music that came out of Kajang, from two, very talented young people, so this could be something fresh for you this year. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So the two of you, are you guys working on anything else together?
Yeah.
Ooh, so many projects, so many ideas.
So this is the first of many that we've heard. We hope to hear a lot more from you guys as well. So I'm going to wish you all the best. Before we leave you, any last words to all our listeners this afternoon?
Happy Deepavali, I guess. And stream Kolikari, stream Rewind. Be sure to stream. That's important. But aside from that, happy Deepavali. Stay safe. Love you guys so much. Yeah.
Aww. That's all.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kavin and Karazey, for joining us this afternoon. Don't forget, Pop-Up Stage comes on every Friday at 12 noon with Darren and myself. If you have a new release, please hit us up either on our personal social media pages or also on the AFO page as well. We'll get right back to you. Sometimes it may be delayed a little bit because we've kind of have a schedule already that we're working on, but we'll get back to you as well. Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to wish you a fantastic weekend ahead. Happy Deepavali. Stay safe. Stay at home if you must. Don't go out and get someone, okay? Please stay safe and enjoy the weekend. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, right here on AFO Radio. Bye-bye.
All right.